to Metal Gear Mondays, the greatest Metal Gear podcast ever.
I don't agree with you.
Releasing on Monday, every Monday.
How did you patch into my radio frequency?
Stinks in here. Bad.
Ladies, gearsmen, babies, and gentlethems, you're listening to a very special episode of Metal Gear Mondays, the Games Club style podcast covering all things Metal Gear from top to bottom, left, right, inside, and out, pseudo-chronological order. As always, I'm your co-host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I am joined by Liliana Wright.
That's me, baby. What up? There you go.
This is a very special, this is one of our multiple Portland Retro Gaming Expo episodes. Apologies to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming. Delta will be getting another episode. We'll figure it out. I have thoughts, but we'll get that out. We might do a weekly for a sec, maybe a bi-weekly. We'll figure it out. Keep an eye on your feed. Just depends on how recording timing is going to schedule out.
Listen, releasing on Monday, every Monday.
Yeah, it's interesting that you cite that because listening back to the theme song this week, my voice sounds a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different, a little scratchier, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It must have been because you had to do like a little re-record, and so after the convention, just
I had a little earworm.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah, surely, absolutely. But yeah, so what we're going to do for these episodes that pop up, they will be clearly labeled PRGE episodes. This current episode that you're listening to is a very special, first time ever double interview with David and Debi in person at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, where Debi, I believe, was part of a panel for the very first time as well.
Well, no, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure.
David.
I think you're right. With David, I think it might be one of her first panels, like Metal Gear related too.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely her first panel with David, which is crazy.
Yeah, 100%. The interview is awesome. To be totally frank, like they do a really great job. We kind of talk a little bit about all kinds of stuff. The way this is going to work out for the future episodes, so we're going to have an actual PRGE episode that is going to be similar to last year's, where it's a little bit of like us telling the story of the weekend, but interspersed with like panels, and then we're going to do our annual Paul Eiting check-in, which is a really magical half hour with Paul.
I feel like it's when we talked to Paul, because again, I did the interview with him years ago, and then we checked in with him last year, and then we checked in again with him this year, and it's one of those things where it's just like I feel like we have to check in with Paul every year. Yeah,
for sure. Moving forward.
Yeah, like it's such like a nice. So we like a nice tight half hour. We talked to him. I'm pretty sure it's around that, and it was really nice. Just like talk about his life and like what he's doing.
Right. Well, and most
like that.
Yeah, and most importantly too, he gave us a little bit of insight into like a play that he's going to be doing. Yeah. I guess because of the play's run dates, maybe we'll talk about when the PRG episode needs to drop, because I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah. But anyway, keep an eye on your feed.
Forgotten about Paul's play dates.
But really special interview, just because we're so familiar with each other now. It's like, I don't know, I feel like there was a little extra sort of natural kind of zhuzh. So I fun fact,
talking to an old friend.
Yeah, 100%, and it comes across that way. And I actually started reading his wife's book the other night. So that's been fun. But yeah, on that same episode with the Paul thing, you're going to hear the two panels. We're just going to straight put them fully in because they're 45 minutes apiece. 45. Some really good shit in that full cast panel, because David actually shared a story that he's never told before. Which actually Paul was surprised by as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And then the other PRGE episode that is going to be coming out is our live episode, which is going to be broken out into its own thing. What
a fun time too. We had a blast doing that.
Yeah, the live episode's amazing. For due to some technical sort of uncertainties and the fact that the AV team weren't really set up to facilitate it, we couldn't record onto our own board and then push the output of that board. Instead, we relied on their feed. So I have yet to hear what that sounds like. Hopefully it sounds okay. But we did like a full-blown live episode on Snake's Revenge, and that featured Nick Freda, Chad Betteridge, community mods, us, James, and a floating mic with people from the audience jumping in. That's like almost a full usual episode. I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or take. But especially with the intro and the outro, it'll probably end up being closer to 2 hours. But yeah, it was an experiment. We played the game live while doing an episode traditionally live at the same time.
It worked really well.
Yeah.
In the room.
Yeah, surprisingly. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So anyway, there's a trio of Portland Retro Gaming Expo episodes that are coming out. So this is part 1 of 3. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. We absolutely enjoyed the weekend. I think it was like one of the best trips I've had in a very, very long time. And yeah, I guess, Lily, do we want to do Patreon thing and then plugs and all that jazz?
Patreon thing is thus patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays. You can go there and subscribe to Patreon and give us money. And we use that to do cool things like facilitate stuff like this and doing more stuff like this. So that would be super cool. $1 a month, you get access to the Discord. We just added a fuck ton of new personalized emojis to the Discord because of the pictures that came out of the event. I'm sure the video version of the PRGE episode will have some of that.
Yeah, all of those episodes are going. The video component, like, I don't want to sit here and like tell everybody they need to spend money, but the video component for all of these PRGE episodes are going to be very special. So, because we have live video, which if you're part of the $10 plus tier for this episode, you'll see live video of us hanging out with Debbie and David, and then on and on and on. So I'm going to have the panel videos and all that stuff. Yeah.
So there's that. $5 a month, you get access to the Patriot Club, and we recorded a doozy of a Patriot Club.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
In Portland live. It was me, it was Alessio, it was James, it was Chad, it was Nick, and it was Alex, and all of us sat around the microphone in me and Alessio's hotel room and just talked about Rule 34 for like an hour.
Yeah, it was a regular old soggy biscuit circle jerk.
Yeah, it was a chaotic time, but that's going to be really fun. So stay tuned for that at $5 a month. And then for $10 a month, like Alessio said, there is the video component. So you get video of this episode, you get videos of our Delta coverage, you get videos of the Patriot Club, you get videos of everything. And we also sometimes release some stuff for the free tier as well. So at least join the Patreon. Just be there. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have the money to give, and share all the things. You can find all of our links at linktree.com/MetalGearMondays.
Yeah, and if you enjoy the show and all this stuff is exciting to you, please consider leaving a review on your podcast feed of choice. This week's episode is brought to you by friend of the show and donator of stickers, Sam Lemke. So thank you so much for all that.
Yes, I got my my THV Magellan sticker.
That's right. Yeah, James got all the Foxhound patches. Nick got the baby hand. And then Chad got the Koji Pro sticker. So that was a nice treat. But yeah, thanks.
I also want to give a really quick shout out to it. We met some folks at PRGE that we are going to probably be working with more in the future that I'm really excited about. So I want to give the Gaming Theater podcast a shout out. Brandon and Leo and I believe, and please forgive me, it's Liv. I'm pretty sure it's Liz.
Yeah, it was Liz. Yeah,
it was Liz. I'm so sorry. We're going to tell we have a video clip of a story that we are going to be telling in the PRG episode involving the Gaming Theater podcast folks. So please look forward to that. It involved raunchy drawings and
Yes.
Debi being
Mae
very
West.
excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we'll probably do like a huge special thanks section for the PRGE like AV team and all those people whenever we do the
100%. They were all really, really great all weekend. So,
nice. Also, special thanks to the No Kings protesters in Portland.
Yeah.
They were all very nice and attended our panels. Like,
yeah, several of them came to our panels. Very, very cool vibes that weekend.
Yeah, for sure. They got the David Hayter stamp of approval during that panel as well.
They did. They were the convention center where the protest started was across the street from the convention center, and the vibes were just immaculate. It seemed like it almost felt like a festival. Like it was very cool, and everybody, lots of great signs, and really, really cool time. So yeah, that was really cool. I do also want to mention one last thing before we jump into the our plugs and then the episode.
Sure.
There were 4 points of failure that could have been really bad for this trip, right? Starting off, the government shutdown, which is currently still ongoing as we record this,
right?
Meaning that TSA was not being paid the entire time we were on this trip. Also not being paid while we were on this trip, air traffic control. So travel could have gotten dicey, and I think for me, for you, for everybody that kind of used air travel to get to Portland, nothing, it was fine.
Also, a third air travel thing was there were rumors that Atlanta was going to go on strike, literally like the night before my flight.
Yeah, so that added
or our flights, I guess. Yeah.
So that added another wrinkle to it, which also didn't come to pass as far as I'm aware. So everybody got home safe. Again, the third point of failure was ice.
Right. Yeah, that was scary. Yeah.
We didn't run across any. We went to a bunch of different places across the city. We didn't run into any agents. We didn't run into any trouble.
Didn't even see any police, to be totally frank.
I saw like one, but it wasn't like for any. They were just like around. Like I think
they were just doing their job.
He was like ordering like food at a place we were at, or I think. Or
something. Oh hell
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was a really, really chill time, and I'm really happy about, Portland's great. Always have a good time in Portland. So
yeah. Also, I am just very thankful, considering our past interview with David, that we didn't have any technical difficulties on this interview in particular. There was one thing I accidentally pulled the plug out of the wall on the mixer, but thankfully it didn't corrupt any of and that was like a last minute audible because my stupid battery was being stupid, but yeah, it didn't corrupt any audio, thank Christ. I like ran back to the hotel room and checked it and like sweat.
There was a full circle moment too, and I don't know if it was captured on tape. I don't think it was, but when we interviewed David and Renton back in 2019, the first thing I still fondly remember, the first thing he did was he came up to me and said, "Hey, you ever seen Billy Corgan riding a roller coaster?" And he showed us this really funny video of like, it's just like a first person view of a roller coaster, and Billy Corgan going "wee" from that one song. And I told that story, and Debbie was like, "What's that?" So I got to pull up the video and show Debbie the video that David had shown me all those years ago. It was very funny.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, and we're recording this before I finish editing, if I remember correctly, I started rolling everything right after she saw it. So I think there is like her talking about it for like a second, but yeah.
Well, there's your context, folks.
yeah, for sure.
Where can people find you on the internet, Alessio?
They can pretty much find everything now. Thank God. Website is like half updated, but AlessioSummerfield.com, ALESSIO, 1 L, 2 S's. I think AC Summerfield also reroutes, but let me triple check.
I don't want to poison the waters, because listen to what he just said.
Yeah.
But also, Alessio Summer filed, perhaps?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We'll tell that story in PRG episode.
Yeah, we'll tell it in the PRG episode. But yeah, you can, as of right now, find all my links, YouTube, Vimeo, IMDb, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, blah, 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 all on my website. Again, it's like bones are there. Just got to go in and do all the aesthetic nonsense. So, but yeah,
good bones.
AC Summerfield also reroutes to AlessioSummerfield.com. Where can people find you?
You can find me at linktree.com/Liliana Dawn. That's where my books are. That's where my social medias are. And yeah, it's a good time.
Hell yeah.
I had a really good Pokemon post on Blue Sky that's doing numbers right now, so
nice.
Check it out.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was you guys or the algorithm gracing me or whatever, but my short film from 2019, 2020, Are You All Right, had a random multi-thousand view growth spurt for some reason, like a couple days after it got uploaded. So if you don't mind, go to youtube.com/@Alessio made that with the @ symbol, or the snail, as our friends in certain European countries refer to it as, which I love. And just look for Are You All Right? And give that thing some views and some likes. Maybe we can get the ball rolling again. Yeah, most viewed thing on my channel now, which is cool. And it did that in 6 days, whereas other videos on there have been around for years and have not done that. But yeah, I upload daily.
It's a great short film too. You should watch it.
I'd completely forgotten about it. I don't want to glaze myself for a second, but I went back and watched it and I was like, fuck, this is actually pretty good. I forgot that, I don't know. As you get older and move away from things that you made, it's easy to be like, I could have done that better, could have done this better, could have done whatever. But watching it back, I was like, fuck, this actually is pretty good.
Famed Black filmmaker Alessio Summerfield.
Yeah, specifically for this film, I was dubbed Black filmmaker. Also, that talk back is also on that YouTube channel if you want to see me be a part of my Black filmmaking cohort. Nice. All right. Well, without further kicking the can, this is Metal Gear Monday's reunion with David Hayter, and very first recorded interview, I guess, with Debbie and David in the same room as opposed to being over video. Enjoy David Hayter and Debi Mae West.
And the first thing that happened when we got back there is you pulled out your phone and said, "Have you ever seen Billy Corgan on a roller coaster?" And then you showed us that video of the wee going.
No. I don't have my phone.
I'll find it out.
Wait a minute. Were you with him?
It's very good.
No, it's a meme.
No, it's a meme.
Oh, that's
but it's
funny.
very funny.
That's very funny.
Great. I had just discovered it that day, so watch this.
It was very good.
Right?
I after that day, I showed that to so many people, and I said, "You never showed me this." It's David Hayter.
That's right.
Oh my God,
It's so good.
It's so
very,
hilarious.
very good.
Okay. So
It's so good. Nice. Well, yeah, we can pretty much jump in whenever.
question.
Yeah.
Nick, are you
Next
rolling?
joke.
All right, cool. Yeah, we are rolling. Lily, can
Oh
you do
my
me a
gosh.
huge favor? Can you slate for the picture? Just clap.
One.
Nailed it. All right, cool. So, hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Segues on this are going to be all over the place. We're cutting it all into a big PRGE episode.
super cut.
So,
A PRG episode.
yes.
Meryl.
I like to imagine David just does this when he's bored in the car, just doing his thing.
I don't know about that, but I do. But this is absolutely true. Whenever I call or get a call from any of the cast, I'm like, Otacon, this is Snake, or Meryl.
That's the first thing he says to me. Meryl.
Everybody. So that's what I do.
That's amazing.
And then he tells a good joke.
Ideally.
I love a good joke.
Is David funny?
Oh my God, I've been dying all day. I actually didn't know how funny he was. I don't remember all the jokes.
Oh, yeah,
Did you
I'm-
tell jokes way back then?
Yeah, I've always been hilarious.
Because how long have you known each other?
27 years. I don't think we met before Metal Gear.
I don't think so either.
I had met a few of the actors
I don't think we
at
met
various
before.
gigs, but
Before that house.
yeah, I think
The
that
weird
was the first
house.
place.
The house.
That damn house.
Damn weird ass house.
Yeah. And so just really quick, because the panel, I kind of snuck in that the focus is going to be that damn house pretty much, us talking about that whole situation. Right. Do you guys still, because I feel like a lot of
Do we remember?
Yeah, a lot of the voice actors we talk to are just that shit is in one ear out the other and I move on to the next gig.
Yeah.
So
Right.
do you guys truly remember that stuff? Paul said he's just going to lie the whole time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
how about you
dishonesty
guys?
is always a good
We might need
solution.
some ammo for Paul.
Infinite ammo.
Yeah.
I always
I'll
knew.
jump in and I'll tell some stories about Paul
amazing.
and loop him in. But I was saying to Debbie this morning that house was run by a Japanese casting group or something, and so because I went to high school in Japan. I speak a little Japanese. I had worked with them before. I knew the house before I knew Debbie. And although I prefer Debbie.
One would hope, was sexier.
In the long run, yeah. No contest. So, but I had done like the woman who ran at Keiko, who sort of coordinated Metal Gear. She had cast me a few years earlier in a Japanese game show where I had to fly to, like, what they would do is they do videos of weird American businesses, and then they'd show the Japanese and say, is this real? Is it not real? Mm-hmm. And they flew me to Chicago to go to this International Star Registry where you would, buy the rights to a star for your friend or whatever. So we flew to Chicago for the day, came back, had Japanese food for dinner, and that's how I knew Keiko and the house.
Nice. Yeah. I hear the house isn't there.
Keiko in the house.
Keiko in the house.
Not Houseu, like the Japanese horror film, hopefully.
Is it real or is it Keiko?
I like that. He is funny.
I'm quick, yeah.
No, I was loud this morning at breakfast. I was like, are people looking at me? Because he said something. I was trying to remember what it was earlier at lunch, but he's very funny. And dry as shit.
Yes, dry. I know a lot of people don't even know. They're like, "Are you being funny?"
Oh,
and I'm
no,
like, I don't know.
And you are.
Am I?
Definitely, but very dry, which is the best.
That's
it's like Brits.
Yeah.
Brits are dry.
Very
I love
dry.
British humor.
I lived in Britain for quite a while, so it's very dry.
And you either get it or you
humor,
don't. And it's sarcasm.
Yes.
Well, you don't say sarcasm. It's not it's sarcasm.
It's a chasm of SARS.
It's
SARS. Yes, chasm of SARS.
Yeah.
This has already gone off.
You can tell we're really tired.
It's been a very long.
Where are we going?
We're
hasn't
3 minutes
begun.
in.
It's like the show hasn't even really gotten going yet.
How frequently do you guys come to Portland? Like, Debbie, I know you've got friends here. I guess just in general, like, do you guys like the Pacific Northwest? I don't know. When Cam was here, weirdly enough, so we had Cam Clark in this very room last year, who we were talking to. And he's great. But
he did. I think he did think, because at the time we were wearing the same like silicone wedding band. I think he thought that we were married to each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
And the interview just like went down a weird path.
Oh, that's fun. Did he tell you about his Barbies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also, did you guys know he recorded like an album of love songs? And so I brought him a copy and he signed it and was like very weirded out that I had it.
Right.
Well, I was going to say the last time I was in Portland, which was in August, I did a show called Deb Zeppelin. And it was all Led Zeppelin songs, except for one Aerosmith rendition of a jazz song. Because I always like to start, if I'm doing a rock and roll show, I like to start off doing something like the Carpenters, or Carpenters, there's no the in Carpenters, and then say, oh, we're not that kind of band, and then start rocking to Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
But I wanted to do Cry Me a River
Like the
as
Justin
the opener.
Timberlake song?
And, Cry Me.
Oh, yeah.
Barbra Streisand, Cry Me a River.
We're millennials.
My millennial.
Oh, yeah,
brain
you're
on.
millennials. And then I found on YouTube an Aerosmith version.
Oh, wow.
And which starts off very sweet, and then it turns into an Aerosmith rendition. So I was in the Willamette Valley in August doing Deb Zeppelin.
That's awesome.
It was fun. So I love it here.
I think last time I was here was for Rose City Comic Con. I love the Pacific Northwest. I love Portland. So anytime they invite me, I come up. It doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but yeah, if the invitation comes up, I'm here. So I think this is my, I don't know, 4th or 5th time in the city. So, nice. And we, and occasionally we'll drive from LA to Vancouver, British Columbia, and we'll always stop in Portland and on the way.
Pacific Coast Highway the whole way.
Mostly the 5. It's quicker.
Right on.
Yeah. It's not as pretty, but it's
quicker, which is sometimes more valuable.
Cuts the time on the road trip down.
Some of the roads get crazy. My wife and I did. We flew to Vegas, got a car, went into the desert, and then went LA and drove all the way to Seattle over the course of like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And just did like hot springs and all this stuff the whole way up.
Nice.
But there had been like a mudslide or something because, of course,
in Big Sur.
I don't know where it was, but
they shut down the Pacific Coast Highway for quite some time.
Yeah, it was crazy, and so we had to do all these like detours. And I'll never forget, we were like so high up, no railing, just like single lane, and I'm just like sweating bullets.
Yeah, it sounds like you're near there.
But gorgeous.
How often do you guys kind of get together? Because you do conventions together.
No, we don't. This is our first convention ever.
Are you serious?
Is it really
Yes,
together?
We have never. I've been waiting for this moment.
We've never done one?
Never,
Did we
ever.
We didn't do
ever.
Metal Gear Con together?
I was going to say you were
No,
an MGS
because
con together?
well, he wasn't there.
You
at
were
the
there,
first
but I
one.
wasn't there for that
Right,
one.
and then I didn't get to do 2 or 3.
Oh.
And
Interesting.
yeah, the second one I couldn't because of the Olympics, and then the third one I wasn't really invited to, and then I made other plans, and then I got invited. I was an afterthought, but it was for the third one was actually more about Metal Gear 3. But then she had some room, and of course she she's a lover of Meryl, and she wanted me to be there. But no, but we have never been together at a convention, and
now we have evidence.
Yeah.
now there's evidence, and I'm hoping that tomorrow. I mean, for some reason they didn't tell anyone we were here today, but a few people have trickled in, and it's been fun.
Yeah.
But I bet tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun.
Tomorrow's gonna be hectic.
The
It's
fans
gonna
of
be
Metal
cool.
Gear are astounding. They're just big
Yes.
lovers of.
It's an overwhelming outpouring of love. And no, I mean, I see you now and again, but
I haven't seen you in a really long time.
we don't live in the
I
same
have
town.
texted.
We see each other. We see each other on Zoom for like autograph
Sure,
things and stuff
Streamly
like
I've
that.
seen you on, but I've texted him a few times. I'm like, where are you going? Because I want to try to like figure it out and find an agent and be like, can you get me on that show? Meryl and Snake Goo need to be together. So,
Great, and here we are.
and here we are. Boom.
did it.
And now I'm trying. Tasia Valenza and I are trying to to create this Sniper Wolf Meryl love-hate kind of thing and create a little jealousy over who gets Snake on Instagram. We're both terrible at social media, so it's like 2 old ladies like, what do we do next? And
Come on, Debbie.
I'm the same way,
I just want to say, Tasia's far worse than you. Tasia will do like an adorable, like, hey, we're here, and she'll just say like a cute thing, and then she'll just go on for like another 45 seconds. And I'm like, I don't think you understand the
like 30 seconds,
span.
right?
You had the perfect video.
Okay, like that. That's crazy. I was actually going to ask, so when we were doing research for the panel, so I noticed Paul has been in tons of stuff with both of you guys individual, but like weirdly together, it's like you guys have only done, as far as credits are concerned, I understand you're not like together in the recording process necessarily.
Oh, we were together.
For all the Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
All of Metal Gear, but we
That's
haven't
fair.
done anything together.
Like it's just Metal Gear. You've only done Metal Gear
Yeah.
together.
Sorry, I think that's
Uh-oh.
hold for 2 seconds. Sorry about that.
more technical difficulties.
Yeah, there it is. Mercury's in retrograde.
Don't even sleep.
Is it? Oh, I like that octopus though.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Speaking of first tattoos,
It's like a ghost octopus.
this was my first tattoo, and I was like, I'm not gonna work shitty corporate jobs ever again.
I
Give
love
me the
that.
biggest tattoo.
Nailed it. Perfect.
I'm
All
so
right.
good at that.
You
Let's
are.
recommend.
Okay.
So, being in things that aren't Metal Gear. I've noticed you guys are not in things together that are not Metal Gear. Why is that?
I think that's right. I mean, as far as Debbie and Paul go, I mean, I've been in a bunch of things with Jennifer Hale. I did another game with called Steam Dolls with Jennifer and Chris Randolph. So a few, but I'm primarily a screenwriter. So like I do a lot of voiceover, but it's mostly just stuff that I get offered. Like I don't really pursue it per se.
Because he doesn't have to.
Because I'm a very, very wealthy character.
All right, David.
I'm a rich screenwriter, so.
And he looks the part.
That's David Hayter of X-Men fame right there.
That's right.
He's got
So
Watchmen, Scorpion King.
yeah. I got the Ziggies coming in. So
That's Ziggies.
I've never heard that before in my life.
oh yeah, the Ziggies. So I just don't like if I had to make my living
Right.
as a voiceover actor. I'm sure I would be in more things with these. These folks work all the time, and I just sort of work when it comes up. So.
I don't do a lot of games anymore.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that someone's going to come along and be like, I want Meryl to
Right.
be in my game. Doesn't happen. I want Lady Tsunade to be in my game. Doesn't happen. I barely read auditions for games anymore. They're bad for my voice. I already have a
Right.
really raspy, screwed up voice anyway. And so for me, like I do a lot. My main bread and butter, no Ziggies, is promos. Promos don't come with Ziggies.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But I love doing promos, and I love doing sports promos, and that's like where I really shine with my raspy voice.
The last time we spoke, and I'm still to this day super fascinated by this. It's like a very fun fact that I tell people. Every time I go into a Fred Meyer, I'm like listening.
I wish it was still my voice, but like I always joke with people. And when I come to the Pacific Northwest, that's when or meet people. I live on Kauai, and I meet people from Oregon or Idaho or Washington State, and I'm like, you've been to Fred Meyer? Oh my God, everyone goes to Freddy's. And so I think I said, what's on your list today? At least 1 million times. But they changed. I don't think it's their tagline anymore. I heard one just the other day, and I was like, it's not. And I'm not mean. Like, I love voiceover actors, and but when I hear one, it's like, I wouldn't have replaced me with that. But whatever.
Yeah. I don't mind replacing me, but
right?
With this?
And I'm sorry if you're hearing me, Mrs. Fred Meyer, but it just, I don't know. I mean, I have a nice, warm, I make you want to go grocery shopping.
You have a very unique voice.
I make you want to go buy bone-in beef.
Wait, hold on. Start talking again.
Bone-in, 59 cents a pound. Unless you're in Alaska, $1.59 a pound. This week at Freddy's.
I definitely want to go buy that now.
You really get screwed in Alaska.
What's up with that?
Bone-in.
You can't go get beef at Shadow Moses.
Talk about getting boned on your bone-in.
Wow, that is very good.
Oh boy!
Probably cut that.
Yeah,
Save it for later.
I'm gonna freeze it.
Because your bread and butter is the screenwriting. Do you have any like?
VO is my jam. That works on every level.
It's the butter on top, the cherry on top. It's the jam.
The jam.
We're all really hungry, I think.
Yeah.
That's all we're
It's
talking
almost
Ziggies.
dinner time, I think. And that's what the Ziggies is. The
I
jam.
love Ziggies. Did you come up
I had
with
never
that?
heard that before.
My friends and I have always called them
Ziggies.
Ooh,
You
you get
guys
the
just
sweet
sit in the
Ziggies.
circle and you're just like, guys,
look like
Ziggies.
We're
13
hilarious.
Sometimes I get a 13-cent Ziggy, or the first thing I ever was on was Who's the Boss?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's where I got my first AFTRA card, and it was a Who's the Boss episode, and Tony Danza brings his kid to school for some reason, and
he's the boss.
And the teacher's like, you can't have kids, and he says, well, I believe the children are our future, and then we all stand up one at a time, let the children learn. And we started to sing the Whitney song, and that's how I got my first role, and I still get Ziggies. They're like a penny, 3 penny Ziggies.
There was a bar in Studio City in California called Residuals. And if you brought a residual check, you got like $1 off your drink, or you got a free drink or something. And then they had a wall of like 2 cent Ziggies, 25 cents.
I love that.
So we'd be like, I'm bringing in my Ziggies, yo.
That's funny.
Sort of thing.
That's amazing.
That's where it came from. Anyway, I'm sorry. I cut you off about 15 minutes ago.
The jam was worth it. Do you have any voice things that are kind of like that are like just people wouldn't have expected you to do, or is it mostly just
any
like
secret
the stuff we
PSAs?
know?
No, I don't really do. I don't do anything that's not like a part, like a role. I mean, I was King Shark on The Flash, which I don't think a lot of people know, and it's hard to tell it's me because it's very processed. But
Can we hear it?
Where's the Flash?
Wow.
That's good.
it was pretty good. Yeah. So
I love that voice.
He's like a 9-foot tall shark. Yeah,
very
it kills
cool.
my voice.
Right.
So that I played Bernie in Gundam War in the Pocket, which, if you know Gundam, is a really excellent, mini series cut from that series.
One of the least complicated named Gundams ever.
Yeah, of course.
They all have these like really complicated
War in the Pocket.
names.
Yeah.
It's like the least complicated one.
I started my career doing non-union anime with Bryan Cranston and Steve Blum, and they'd all pay us $50 an hour to do anime voices. So there's a bunch of those little things that
Nice.
sometimes I used different names because it was non-union.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that all the Sean Barker stuff?
Yeah. So people will stumble across those and go, "Oh, hey, that's that guy."
Did we all use our real names on the first go
No.
round from the house?
No,
I
that
did.
was-
He's the only one that
I'm
did.
the only one that
May
did.
Zadler,
Yeah.
You were May
Paul
Zadler, and there was
Paul
Karen
Otis, we got
Learning,
Paul
and
Otis,
James
and
Flinders.
James
Wow.
Flinders, which we
Yeah.
found out is actually Cam stole it from a Mormon musical.
Yeah.
I think.
No, that's
is
hilarious.
Yeah.
I think,
But I was like, I'm the star of this, so they're using my name.
I think like Kim was Kim Wynn or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I don't know why in my head when I picture this house, I picture like you guys just like rolling up and just, I don't know, just a minivan and all spilling out and then going into this crazy house. Like, what was the experience of like, because like when we talked to Chris Zimmerman, she had said that it was just like this house on the corner in Hollywood.
I remember the corner.
And you could hear like the garbage trucks when they would show up. And so I have this weird mental image. So like, I don't know, I guess I'm just more curious, like, what was it like to show up for this thing? Like,
I feel like I remember shag rugs.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Oh no, it was designed in the 70s and nobody had upgraded it. There was a shag rug, which was the only thing giving us any sort of soundproofing.
Right, I remember that.
We were in this sort of lowered part of the living room, and then maybe there was a riser there for the engineer, but there's no walls. There's no soundproofing at all. There's just 5 mics lined up. There was no van. They just give you the address, and I think I had a motorcycle at the time, so I ride up.
You definitely did.
Looking pretty cool.
You were.
And
did you have your frosted tips still going on at the time?
not by 98. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I probably did.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
they were there.
I know. Actually the frosted tips were at my first house that I had bought. So that would have been after X-Men. So that would have been 2001.
Right. That was okay.
So it's like MGS2
Metal Gear was
territory.
pre-X-Men.
MGS2. Yeah.
Right on.
So probably before
That's when he
that.
was becoming
But
a
in
real big one.
Yeah.
But in 98, I had short, spiky, white blonde hair, platinum
Oh, wow.
white hair, and for a brief period of time because it just all started to fall out. But I think I was brown haired when I did when I did Metal Gear Solid.
You were
Chris
brown
Zimmerman
haired.
always tells the story. Is like, he came in and he was wearing this sort of military looking thing, and he had a mullet, and I'm like, I did not have a mullet.
You ever think about bringing the platinum back?
It's
I
really
think
hard
that-
on the hair.
I think the
Listen, the
hair's
platinum's
looking
coming back
pretty
That by
anyway.
itself,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Looking pretty darn good.
It's
right
very
now.
distinguished.
It is
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody came up to me at the bar the other day, and they were like, "Oh my God! Like, how did you get your hair this color?" And I said, "Well, as my body dies, some of the hairs turn silver, and so thank you for bringing it up, buddy."
Debbie, what was your hair like circa 1998? At the house, what do we rock?
What are we rolling up to the house?
I've always had.
Are you jogging
so
to
many
the house?
color.
Taxi?
I'm not jogging to the house now. I probably lived off of Melrose at that point, so it wasn't far from where I was living. But I'd have to really go back because I used to have like the color of falling leaves was my hair, so it was like black and orange and yellow and
That's so cool.
But I don't know. It was probably of some sort of red. I think it was probably close to Meryl. I definitely identify with Meryl and the look at that point. I don't remember. That's
Got it.
long.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
been-
barely remember what I talked about yesterday. I can't remember the joke David told me at breakfast that had me howling. So
I feel that.
Damn it! I don't remember either.
I
but
know, but you do. It's there, and I'll get it out of you soon enough. I know
It's so funny, but and this happens a lot, that voice actors tend to look like their characters, and really in Metal Gear, I mean, Jennifer looks just like Naomi, and Tasia isn't blonde, but she looks like Sniper Wolf, and Chris Randolph looks like Otacon.
sounds like him too.
Just like Snake, and so
You are a snake.
and you look just like Meryl. So
Yeah.
I remember back in the day.
Do you think
And
there's
you
like
still do.
you think when they're casting, even though there is no visual component necessarily to what you're doing, do you think they're just subconsciously like, oh, you look just like this dude on the sketch?
I think if the Japanese were casting us, if Kojima was casting us, which I believe he was, he didn't see us at all.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
It's just
you heard our voices.
the soul of your voice. I mean, we can do different voices, we can do different characters or whatever, but for the most part in something like Metal Gear, we're mostly playing what we are.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a coincidence,
It's so interesting to me because I've done a lot of video games, but I only have, Meryl I think is the most iconic. World of Warcraft is a huge
Oh, yeah,
game,
for
but
sure.
Maya of Shadowsong, she's a dark, with a crazy voice.
Right,
and
right.
so when I did, the only con I ever did before this that wasn't an anime show was BlizzCon. And it was like the women of Warcraft. And my character, she's not beloved like, you know, the blonde girls, and the fans would come and they'd be crying when they'd meet these other women, and I was just like, oh, nobody loves my Em.
no.
But Meryl, you know, like she's and Lady Tsunade, you know, I don't have a lot of them, but those two are super iconic characters, and I feel so happy that Kojima heard something in my voice that was like, because they handpicked us all, and who knew that it would, you know, all these years later be this iconic game that, you know, like I can see people when they come to our tables, I can see the love, I can see that they're nervous to meet us, excited, you know, and they want to act like they're cool, but they really are moved in this way, and it's by our voices, and it's
100%.
amazing. Like when I hear David's voice on the phone, I'm like, wow, it really, you know, I can see, I watch, and I see how much the fans love us, and it's quite cool.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I tell you, if my wife was here, she would be crying over you.
Oh, she would. I'm crying right now thinking about your wife.
She loves my Shadow song. When she found out, that was just like, what? She was
Oh,
freaking
really?
out. Before I left.
I brought him a Mayev. We'll give you one
Okay.
to take home to her.
Oh, she'd love that. Yeah.
Great. I love that.
That's amazing.
I think the thing about it that also kind of makes it hit that much harder is like, and I don't want to date anybody, but like I was 11 years old, I think, when I heard you guys' voices for the first time.
Wow.
Go to hell.
But it's like, and you play the shit out of these games over and over, and so it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, in a weird way, like I feel like a star fucker saying this, but I was having like coffee with Chris Randolph whenever I was living in New York.
Yeah.
And it was just the weirdest, most surreal thing where I was like, it's bizarre that like your voice was coming out of my like CRT in my child bedroom, and now we're just like hanging out and having
I know,
coffee.
but he sounds just like Otacon.
He sounds exactly like him. Well, that's the thing about.
I'm going to order some bread, Snake.
Well, I think that's the thing about all of you is that's the unique thing is a lot of people when they do roles like that, they put on voices, but like all of you just kind of sound like
it's like a heightened
it's
version,
like
right?
turned up.
Well, I was definitely heightened. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you were
didn't-
definitely heightened,
and I didn't.
but-
My voice when I auditioned would have been like this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the voice I auditioned with. So, you know, Colonel, this is Snake. And then I got the script and I was like, oh, this guy's older and he's retired and he's bitter and he's a legend. And I was
And
like,
suddenly there were like 5 R's at the end.
yeah. I was like, he needs to sound like he's been dragged across miles of bad road.
Meryl.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. And then I've been doing the voice at cons for the past 11 years, and now I just sound like this.
Yeah, just evolved, like shaped it.
Well, I just got older, and you know, and so I sort of sound a lot more like Snake now than I did then.
Right on.
I was thinking the other day, I was because I've never played a video game other than Galaga, probably.
It's a good one.
But I have to watch YouTube videos to really like learn about the story of Meryl and then remember, we never took our scripts home. We never saw something before. It was all, NDA.
Did you just get sides for like the scenes, or did you get like full?
No, they just give you the scenes, and then like this is also, a testament to the actors. When you hear us do a line, that's like the first or second time we've ever said it out loud.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we just got to figure it out on the fly and then do it, which makes things much, much more difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
And we don't know any context. What do we have to ask the
Right.
producers? Like, what am I talking about here? And so, you just get it and you go. And
That's crazy.
It's crazy that it seems coherent,
Yeah.
But David was always there, so he knew a lot more than any of us. So he could bring us up to speed when we were in the. But what I was saying was earlier, I met a guy and he was talking about Meryl, and I said to him that I go back and I listen, and my voice was higher.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a high voice. Like I always had a scratchy, voice, and I would always, when I read for commercials, I would try to take it off, and sometimes I'd be like, "Oh gosh, this is really scratchy," and they're not going to hire me. But Meryl, her voice was a lot higher. And she doesn't sound like a badass to me when I listen to it. Like, I know I kind of sound like a badass, like now that I'm old. But I'm like, because she was. But she doesn't sound like a badass.
But she was really scrappy. Like, I'm no rookie.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
she was
she had
scrappy.
She had attitude, and she might have been in over her head, but she was ready to kick ass. And like, you really had that element to her, and I'm like, you haven't even taken the safety off, rookie. You're like, I'm no rookie, and we were going toe to toe, and I was like, this is a badass character.
I love her.
She wasn't, that was the point. She was a rookie in the first one, and then in 4, she's seasoned. And
that scene when they meet is so fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
and somehow she marries Johnny.
Somehow.
Johnny Sasaki, the diarrhea kid.
Yeah, the diarrhea guy.
It's a whole can of worms.
We've spent a long time on our podcast talking about how weird that was.
Does anyone know where Bang Spees is? I've never seen him.
The only version of Johnny that we've talked to was the MGS1 Johnny voice actor.
Oh, it wasn't
And
Bang?
it was a different guy.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now.
The first one?
Yeah, he was an older guy. He played like one of the first queer characters on television in like an Archie Bunker spinoff.
Wow.
Dean Schofield.
Yeah, Dean Schofield.
Oh,
yeah.
He played
Dino's.
Johnny?
He was the original.
Dino.
Yeah, he was the original.
Dino Schofield. Yeah.
We were at the same agency, but I didn't know that he was in Metal Gear.
He was the original Johnny Sasaki.
Oh.
Sweet dude. We talked to him. He was like, I have no idea about any of this stuff. So I was like, let's just talk about your career, man. Like, super nice guy.
I love him.
But I always love, in terms of Meryl's wedding, it's like, Snake, are you going to come to my wedding? It's like, no, I'm going to go back to my ranch and die.
Pretty much.
I have advanced aging, so.
Well, but then you get to go live happily ever after with Otacon and Sonny. So.
Yeah, me, Otacon, and Sonny are going to die in Alaska, but have a good wedding.
Yeah.
Well, I've never been married, so the only wedding dress I've ever worn is in that game.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
That's cool. That's cool.
I think that there is a contingent of fans that would consider Otacon Snake's true love.
Oh, many.
Yeah.
Many.
Snotacon.
Yes, Snotacon is crazy.
That's the owl.
I've never heard of the
Snotacon.
I did want to ask, so I'm trying to think of the best way to thread this because I don't want it to sound like presumptuous or stupid. So David, between MGS1 and MGS4, right, you go off, these movies happen, right? It's like between MGS1 and MGS4, I'm pretty sure it was X-Men, Scorpion King, Hulk, but Watchmen hadn't happened yet. Because
Watchmen was 2009.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I signed the deal in 2001, so it took 8 years to make the movie.
Because you were the first script, right? And then there was
I was all the scripts,
all of them.
until
Right,
the very
right.
end. And
Okay.
Then,
but anyway, all that stuff happens before MGS4.
And X-Men too.
Yeah. And Debbie, in some random interview I found 3 nights ago in 2014, you had made mention of like David going to bat for the actors and you guys getting paid more for MGS4.
Well, we got was it
curious.
No, it was when we remade.
Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was curious, like, how did because obviously, I mean, doing any sort of industry stuff, especially like upper level, kind of above the line stuff, you probably do get good at like negotiating and figuring out how to do all that stuff.
Talk to this guy.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, how do you go to bat for your castmates? How does that whole thing happen? Like, what did you learn that helped open that door?
I learned my value. I learned that my new entertainment lawyer could kick the living bejesus out of a giant corporation. So I did Metal Gear and I made $7,500 for the first game, and we all got paid scale. Took us about 10 days to record, and then next year I wrote X-Men. I was so poor when I got Metal Gear. I was like, oh my God, thank God I got this. And then the second game,
they wanted to remake it.
Twin Snakes came around, and they had to remake it. And so I said, okay, well, it's going to be pretty expensive. I mean, I was working on the Hulk and Chronicles of Riddick at the same time.
Oh, I forgot about Riddick.
I don't have a lot of time. Well, I didn't end up getting credit. They rewrote me on both movies. Those are not my movies, but I was working on them at Universal. And so by that point, we'd negotiated for at least 2 big Hollywood deals. And like now I was like, oh, I can negotiate for things. Voice actors don't negotiate for things. You're like, I want double scale. And they're like, go to hell.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to go with that guy.
Right? So they were like, we really need you to come back. And I'm like, well, it's going to be pretty expensive. And so we started negotiating. And then they were like, okay, well, to pay your fee, we're just going to replace all the original voice actors because they all wanted, and I was speaking to Jennifer, I think I was speaking to Debbie. I was like, you need to ask for more money. Like this is an iconic game. They're going to remake it. They're going to bring back they need to bring back the cast. So you're in a position to ask for a little more money. So they did. And they were like, no, we're not going to pay anybody anything more than scale, so we're going to replace everybody but you.
I'm sure that would have gone over well.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, the fans aren't going to like that. Second of all, the first game made $400 million or whatever.
That's what I remember. I remember you telling me that you knew how much the game made. And
I read PlayStation Magazine. I was like, okay, they sold this many copies. I know how much they cost per copy.
Right.
You know, against your overheads, I know what you're making. So, so they weren't going to pay them. And I'm like, look, I really want to do this with the original cast. I said, would you pay me this amount of money? And they said, yes. And I said, okay, then take this amount of money and split it among everybody, and I'll take this amount of money, which was still a lot. I wasn't suffering. And
the residues.
And so they did. Yeah, no residues on the games.
Residues on games. Or anime.
Yeah. But so that's how it happened. And,
that makes sense.
You know, I just... You know, for the sake of the fans, for my friends, for the quality of the game.
So am I incorrect in that they first denied you the amount you asked for, and that you said, well, then go ahead and match my voice, and that they tried? Did that not happen? Did I make that story up?
Well, that happened on other games.
Okay.
Like they made me re-audition for Snake Eater. They made me re-audition for Metal Gear 4.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then they brought in other guys to try to match my voice, and I'm like, nobody else can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy. I didn't.
It's going to sound ridiculous. More ridiculous than when I do it.
It's weird that they re-auditioned you for 4, considering that you're like in the live action things that play in the game too. Like you physically are in it.
Well,
I'm assuming
I think
that
they made
after
that decision after they were like, okay, we got to cast him. Might as well put him in the thing.
That's crazy.
I know that they, speaking of all I know they reused most of the voice for 3 when they made Delta.
Yes.
Now, did you have to do any pickups at all for it?
Yeah, I did 7 or 8 lines for new controller instructions and stuff like that. But it was cool. I had to match my voice from 20 years ago.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it was spot on.
I want to match my voice from 20 years ago.
Yeah, right?
Please.
We had a really good interview actually recently with Neil Ross. He plays Vulgan.
I haven't seen him in so long.
Kuwabara.
His book is awesome. I just read his memoir.
2018?
Yeah, it's super good. Really, really good.
I'd love to see that.
What did he call it? He called it a tome.
It is literally. It's like 500 pages.
Yeah, it's
like,
a big one.
But the only reason why I mentioned that is he mentioned that.
Are we keeping you?
No. 5 p.m. I just was looking at an audition from my agent. And he's always quick promos, so I'm good.
Oh no, you're good. Speaking of the voice thing, Neil had said that like he hates doing video games because he feels like 90% of the time he's just screaming into a microphone.
Right. Yes.
So I imagine that's not good for your voice. But
well, yeah, doing all the action things for Snake is brutal.
We found a collection. When we were collecting sound effects for the panel we're doing on Sunday, we found somebody had taken every single sound effect of your character from the Old Republic.
Yeah, from like
your Jedi Knight
character.
Yeah.
Just like just doing all of the sound effects and the grunts and stuff. It's just a super cut of all of
it's
those.
3 minutes, and it's just like and it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I've been doing that game for 17 years.
Oh
What's
my
the game?
God.
It's Star Wars: The Old Republic, so it's a massive multiplayer online game, and and of course Jennifer Hale was already in it because you can't make anything without Jennifer. And they had to replace the lead male Jedi character voice. And Jennifer, God bless her, goes, "What about David Hayter?" And they were like, "Do you think he'd do it?" And I was like, play a Jedi? Yeah, I would do that. So I signed on to do it, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to do this thing. And then it was huge, and so they just keep making new worlds, and I've been doing it for 17
Wow.
Yeah, because it's like a player character voice too, right?
Yeah,
It's like the lead player.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, there's a number. I mean,
if you
could be the
like,
smuggler, you
right,
can be
right.
all these things. But if you're going to be a male Jedi, it's me, and if you're the female Jedi, it's Kari Walgren.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
That's cool.
It's a cool, and I'm so much better as an actor now than I was 20 years ago because of that game. Because I just you have to make it interesting, and there's no context for each line. It's like Anyway, I'm just grateful for that job.
Since Paul's not in the room with us right now, and he's going to be at the panel with us tomorrow, is there anything embarrassing that we need to like throw at him? Do you guys have any like silly stories?
No, man, Paul's kick ass.
He's super.
He's the colonel,
He's kind of bullet
man.
He's little, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him do anything.
Are you going to embarrass me?
No,
I give you
Debbie.
permission if you'd like to.
Well, what do you?
Yeah, what's something that we can embarrass you
Yeah.
guys? Tell us.
Is it true that you were in school for music and then became a monk? Is that true?
Oh, that's funny. No, I became a Buddhist.
There we go. That is
for 25 years.
Nice.
I wouldn't say that I was monk like in any fashion, but I was diligent at practicing every single day until I
That's awesome.
realized I didn't want to be part of any religious anything.
For sure. How did you go? Because like what I was reading at least, and the internet sucks, right?
They
It's
can't
like
put
half of
anything
this
on it
is
that's not
real,
true.
half
Does
of
it
it's
say
not.
that I was a monk somewhere?
I was also very late when I was going through my papers, so I highly doubt that that's what it said. Maybe my brain is roasted. But yeah, how can you describe
As calm as a monk?
the road from Buddhism to voice acting for anime?
It's actually, I mean, I find it interesting. So here's the thing. So I was part of a world peace organization, a really wonderful Japanese. It started in Japan, and Buddhism has many sects.
Yeah.
So it was a Japanese sect of Buddhism, and while I was in that, because I'm also a singer, and I had wanted to be a rock star, and so I always was chosen to sing the leads in the Buddhist chorus. Yes, there's a Buddhist chorus. Nice. And I remember saying at one of my auditions that I was going to give my voice for world peace, and then I wanted people all over the world to hear my voice, that somehow I would touch people all over the world. Oh. And there was a woman that I practiced with who was actually had an ADR group with Cam Clark.
Oh, man.
Weirdly enough.
Okay.
And she and I practiced together. And at one point she said, this was early 90s, she said, have you ever thought of voiceovers? And I was like, what's that?
Right.
And she kind of told me what it was. And she said, why don't you take a class? You have a really cool voice. You kind of sound like Demi Moore. And Demi Moore was the prototype at that time, doing a lot of voiceovers. And Terry Apple, they were the two women that were really doing a lot of voiceovers. And I always had this dream that I couldn't get on Space Mountain, and I loved everything Disney, and I had a reoccurring dream that I could not get on Space Mountain. Anyway, I took the class.
Tragic.
Yeah, very bizarre. Took the class. I got an agent, and Pamela Siegel then, who is Pamela Adlon, she came to hear me sing at a gig, and I asked her, I was like, how do I get into that voiceover thing? Which I know now, people ask you that, and she's like, it'll never happen. It's a little
It's for the
club.
birds.
It's hard to get in. So anyway, the woman in my monk class, she led me towards doing voiceovers, and then I got an agent, and I ended up, one of my first jobs was matching Pamela's voice on 101 Dalmatians. I was the voice of Lucky, and the night they called me and said, you booked 101 Dalmatians, and I booked a Ford spot that same day. Like I went from being a waitress to like never being a waitress again and having a 35-year voiceover career. And then that night I had the dream that I got on Space Mountain.
Oh, wow.
And I never looked back.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
It's the
pretty
sign.
cool. It was
I finally
it was
did
a
it.
sign.
You made it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so sorry. The monk thing, I'm never gonna forget.
I know.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm never going to forget monk class.
Yeah.
Your monk class.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I
Monk
love
better.
Well, cool. Yeah, I don't eat up too much time. Lily, do you have any additional stuff that you want to ask?
I did want to ask one quick thing for David, which was because you mentioned that because you're very big famous screenwriter, obviously.
I don't think I phrased it like that. I said very wealthy.
Wealthy.
Yes, that would make that. Yeah. So something like Steam Dolls comes across your desk. Was that just somebody reaching out to you, being like, "We want to like Chris Randolph's doing it, Jennifer's doing it. We want to have the Metal Gear people back doing it," or like?
Reached out to me first.
Okay.
And so people, it's a guy on Twitter, is a French game maker, Yoann, and he said, "Look, I'm doing this indie game, and is there any reality in which you would do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I just love to work, and I don't, for an indie game, I don't take a huge amount of money. I don't, if somebody's got a limited budget, I'm happy to work for scale, and as long as the game or the movie is not offensive or betrays my values or makes me look like a dick, I can do that on my own." So
process.
He told me about it, and he's like, it's this post-apocalyptic thing. It's this badass character named the Whisperer and whatever. And I said, sure. And he was like, oh my God. And I said, it's not true. I didn't ask for scale. I did ask for a little bit of money, but he put it together. I said, it has to be SAG, it has to be a union game. And then once we were doing that, he said, do you think I could talk to Jennifer Hale and Chris Randolph? And I'm like, sure. So hooked them up, and they were both in, and we did it. So, the lesson is if you have a game and you want me to be in it, run it past me, and the chances are better than not that I'll probably do it if it's awesome.
I'll have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, Debbie's too in demand to just do that, but
Well, here's the real question: is
you got a game?
You got a game?
No, I don't have.
Thank God.
So they reached out. They said, "Well, what do you think about Jennifer and Chris?" And you said, "Yeah, totally." What about Debbie? Why didn't you suggest Debbie?
Right. We hadn't been in touch. I wasn't on his mind.
Well, no, I mean, you're always on my mind. He just didn't ask. He just said.
Specific.
He specifically said Jennifer Hale and Christopher Randolph.
Yeah.
And if he'd have said Debbie, I'd have hooked her up right away. I just.
You are good. You take care of your friends, David. I know that about you.
Absolutely.
You take care of those you love.
It's just I know a lot of people, and
get in line.
People I love.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
No, but if you're ever asked to do a game, and they say, "Hey, can you hook us up with David Hayter?" I'll do that, and we'll do the game together.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
It is such a weird, whether it's video games or I don't know, more of my work is film, TV stuff, but it's such a weird snowball of okay, we get this person to say yes, then it opens the door for this person, then we get more money, then we can get this person. You know what I mean? It's always
that's
just
how it works. That's how movies are put together.
Yeah.
That's how TV shows are put together. It's so frustrating.
We got no money, but then David said yes, so now we do have money. So now let's get more people. You know what I mean? It's just this crazy.
Except if I write a script, they're like, "Oh, David wrote a script." That's not enough to get the movie.
Yeah.
You still need to get an actor that's big enough to justify
100%.
$20 million, $50 million, $100 million or whatever, or a director that does. Yeah, that's how movies and TV and games are put together, and it's amazing anything ever gets made.
100%. Yeah, it's a miracle. Nice. Well, so we're gonna see each other tomorrow, which is great. Very excited.
Very excited.
12:15.
12:15. Correct. And not far from here, actually. I think it's around the corner-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, do you guys have anything you want to plug for our show as opposed to the panel? Is there anything you've got going on soon that you want people to check out?
That you can
I'm
talk
going to be
about.
the voice of the Winter Olympics.
Nice.
That's wild.
Super excited
Amazing.
about that, and I had my rings,
Oh, I love
I
it.
just won my first Emmy. I just came last week.
Oh
to
shit! You asked me
my
to ask
home.
you about the Emmy.
That's okay.
I totally forgot.
Well, you just
Well,
asked me.
well,
what
she
was
brought
it?
it up anyway.
We're going to ask about the Emmy on stage in front of a bunch of
Awesome.
people.
It was very exciting. I mean, I'm not good at bragging about anything, but I just have to brag about my
you
Emmy
should.
because she's beautiful and she weighs a lot and she's dipped in 24 karat gold and she came to my little house in Hawaii and
It's a
all
lot
my
of work.
friends were so excited. So that, I definitely feel like for me, I'm not bless you, honey. It's I just saw an old friend out there on the floor, and we're both talking about the good old days and when we were all just really rolling in voiceovers, and I still have a lot of auditions, but it's hard. It's not easy to make it only as a voiceover actor. David's an incredible, rich screenwriter. And
Very
wealthy.
very wealthy.
You should see my credit rating.
It's pretty damn good.
and I really only do voiceovers, and I don't say only lightly because I'm very, very proud of my career, and I've had a very wonderful career.
You should
But to for me, my pinnacle is the Olympics. That was my baby, was to be the first woman voice of the Olympics, and there were two of us on Beijing, but now it's just me, and I'm really proud of that work. So it's really exciting for me.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you have anything you can talk about?
Yeah, I have. So Metal Gear Delta just came out.
Yeah, we're covering it for the show, right?
talking about
Snake
it
Eater
right now.
Delta, which is doing very well and is a spectacularly beautiful game. And let's see, I just announced Snake is doing a crossover with the Delta Force video game.
Okay.
So that's my first new Snake performance since 2009.
Okay.
Nice.
They're putting Snake
Yeah,
in
it's
a
like a
different
free
video
play.
game?
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Was the last time that happened, I think.
Yeah, totally. Bomberman.
Bomberman,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
Forgot
was
about
the
that.
last one, but that wasn't a performance like this. The one's got scenes and stuff like that. And then I'm writing a movie for Fox called The Zone, being directed by Dallas Jackson.
Nice.
And it looks like we're going to be shooting next year.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So I think those are the ones I can discuss, but lots of things going on, and just keep an eye on your television, your movie screen, or your game console, and I'll be there
Nice.
eventually.
I have one last thing to wrap us up with. There's like a drought of direct quotes from either one of you about each other on the internet. So to send us out, we want to give each of you a chance to say what you truly think about each other.
Some affirmations.
Wait, what Meryl thinks of Snake? Or
What
Debbie
Debbie thinks of David and what
David.
David thinks of Debbie.
Wow.
Well, so let's set the record straight. Debbie has said a lot of positive things about David that have been quoted all over the internet.
Really?
David, on the other hand, I have found no quotes about Debbie directly.
Well, I don't think you're. Well, I say nice things about Debbie all the time.
No, of course.
I think the fact that we haven't been at a con together is the reason you haven't got them on the record. But I am an enormous fan of Debi Mae West. Like I say, her performance as Meryl, particularly in the first game, I think we showed so much heart and so much, like, she was a believable rookie, but you could see that there was this core of steel to her, that she was, determined to see the mission through. I was so moved by her performance when she got shot by a sniper wolf, and I was panicked about it, and I think that comes through in the performance. So I could not be a bigger fan of Debi Mae West.
Thank you.
I love her to death. She has always been inspiring to me. She was way ahead of me in her voiceover career when we met and to this day. So I couldn't be more impressed with Ms. Debi Mae West.
That's so nice. I can tell you that I was in Houston maybe a month and a half ago, and these really nice guys had been at MGS Con and met David, and I'm going to start crying. And they came up and said, "Oh my gosh, we're so excited to meet you, and we just want you to know that David Hayter said so many nice things about you and told us that we should not miss out on meeting you." And I was just really touched, and it just, excited me, because I didn't know that this show, when I was at that Houston show, that I hadn't signed on for this one. And so I was just really excited about this weekend, and I think tomorrow's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And I think the fans are going to have a great time meeting us together with the General.
The Colonel.
I'm a crybaby. I cry.
Me too.
I am not. So I have a cold stone.
Yeah.
Heart of cold stone.
It's that's where you keep the wealth.
Yeah,
that's
in the heart
I
of
want
stone.
to find all
actually.
these quotes of what I've said about David online. That's
Look,
awesome.
we try really hard to not. I really hate retreading the same stuff when we interview people.
this has been
and
a
so it's
very
I try
original
really.
interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you
for
guys so
putting in
much.
the work.
Look forward to tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you
excited
very
to be
much,
here.
guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Buck.